So in this part of the course, we're going to look at covering these NESA Stage 6 chemistry syllabus outcomes. So we want to look at conducting practical investigations to analyze the concentration of an unknown acid or base by titration, and then also to model neutralization of strong and weak acids and bases using a variety of media. So let's get into it. So what is a primary standard? A primary standard is a solution that has an accurately known concentration. Now, a primary standard has to be made from a solid that is pure and stable, as well as soluble. We need to weigh that out. And the reason it needs to be pure and stable is so that it's not going to absorb moisture from its surroundings, because then that is going to affect the concentration of the end product, and also that it's not going to readily react with its environment, readily react with water or moisture in the air, readily react with oxygen that's in the air. And so we want something that's pure and stable so that we can have an appropriate outcome. And the way that we can help students to remember what a primary standard is, I tend to use this in my classes, is that so primary standard solution, so PSS, is pure, soluble, stable. Okay, so that's just a nice little acronym that can help your students to remember what a primary standard solution is. So in titrations, a primary standard solution is often used as the titrant. So this is the one that is going into the burette, and it's added to react with the analyte, which is the substance that's being tested or analyzed. So that's the one that we're not sure what that concentration is. And so we put the two together to try and work that out by calculations. So common examples of primary standards, and I'm going to show you an example of making one up with sodium carbonate, but we could also use things like sodium chloride and potassium dichromate. Sodium carbonate is a good one because it's got a fairly high molar mass, which means it makes it easier for us to sort of measure out in grams the amount that we want. So that's a nice one to use. Substances such as sodium hydroxide are not used because of the same reasons I said before. They absorb moisture from their surroundings, and therefore they're not considered stable. So preparation of a primary standard, I'm going to demonstrate this for you in an experiment very shortly, but just to give you a little overview first, is that we measure out what it is that we're using. So whether it's the sodium carbonate or sodium chloride, whatever it is we're using, we measure that out. We put that into, or transfer it into, a volumetric flask. We make sure that every single little particle transfers over from whatever we weighed it out into the flask. We dissolve that solution, we dissolve that salt, and then we fill it up right up to the meniscus, and we invert it and swirl it around, making sure that we have got the whole mixture to be quite homogeneous. Now, a question that is common is, how do you determine what mass of the solid that you want? So how do you know how much sodium chloride or sodium carbonate that you actually want to use in your experiment? Determine roughly what concentration you want to start with. So if you're wanting to make up a solution that is about 0.2 molar, then that's what you need to decide. Do you want it to be 0.1 molar? Do you want it to be 1 molar? That's up to you to decide what it is that you need. And that probably depends roughly around the concentration of the analyte that you're using. Once you've determined what you want there, then we know our concentration equals moles over volume. And so if we're using a 250 ml volumetric flask, then we can determine that we actually want 0.05 moles in that 250 mils in order to get to the concentration of the 0.2 molar that we had established earlier. So then once we know our moles, we can work backwards with our equation where the number of moles equals mass over molar mass. Okay, we have the number of moles, and our molar mass in this example of sodium carbonate is 105.99. So 0.05 divided by 105.99 gives us the mass of 5.3 grams. Okay, so if we're wanting to have a 0.2 molar concentration, then we're going to need 5.3 grams of the sodium carbonate. In the example I'm showing you next, I'm not going to use that much. That actually is quite a lot. It's quite a lot to dissolve in that amount of water. I'm going to do a much more dilute solution, but I will show you that next. All right, so I'm set up now to do our preparation of the standard solution of our primary standard. So I'm going to do a primary standard solution of sodium carbonate. So I've got my sodium carbonate anhydrous, okay, as a solid. I've got my scales and a weighing boat so that I can weigh out the amount that I want. I've got distilled water, my volumetric flask for 250 mils, and I've got a little funnel as well to help me to transfer the sodium carbonate into that flask. So let's get started. To prepare the primary standard solution of sodium carbonate, I'm going to use a weigh boat to weigh out as close to 2 grams of the sodium carbonate as I can. So I'm just going to tare that so we start at 0. Okay, I'm going to get my sodium carbonate, my spatula, and I've got 2.00 grams. If you go a little bit over or under, it actually doesn't matter as long as you record down the exact mass that you have so that you can work out the exact moles that you have, because that's what this is about. It's about creating a primary standard where you know the exact concentration of that substance. So it doesn't matter if it's 2.00 or it could be 2.15, as long as you record and know the exact amount, that's okay. So I've got my 2 grams. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. And now I'm going to transfer that 2 grams of sodium carbonate into my volumetric flask. This is a 250 ml volumetric flask. Again, it's really important to use the most accurate equipment that we can for this purpose. And I'm going to use the funnel to make sure we don't spill anything. So first thing I'm going to do is just pour as much into it as I can. And then I'm going to get my wash bottle and make sure I get every tiny little bit of the sodium carbonate from the weigh boat into my flask. Once I'm sure I've got every tiny little speck in there, I can put that to the side. I can make sure that my funnel has everything washed through as well. And once I'm sure that all of those things are free of the sodium carbonate, you can see in the bottom there I've got the solid and a little bit of water. I'm just going to put in a bit more distilled water so that I can dissolve it. So at this point I haven't filled it all the way, okay, but I filled it enough that I can put the stopper in the top and give it a nice shake to dissolve it all. You can invert it a couple of times. We will end up inverting it again later to make sure that it's all mixed through properly. Now that it's all dissolved, I'm going to very carefully now fill my volumetric flask up to the 250 ml mark. So I'm going to bring my eyes down to being eye level. And you can do it pretty quickly to the start. I'll just put a fair bit more in to start with. And then as we get close, we really want to go sort of drop by drop so that we know that we've got the exact amount. Okay. Now, if you go over the exact marking on the flask, then you actually have to start this process all over again, because now you're not exactly sure of the volume. You've got a little bit too much water in, but you don't exactly know how much water you've got extra. So that means you have to start the whole process again. Okay, so you want to make sure that the bottom of the meniscus is sitting on the marker line of the volumetric flask, so that you know exactly how much water, how much volume you have, and therefore the exact concentration of the primary standard. Once you've got it to this point, you can put the stopper in again. And this time we're going to invert it because all of our mixture is at the bottom and we've just added water onto the top, the distilled water onto the top, and we want to make sure that there's an even mixing of that. So you want to invert it a few times, make sure it's stoppered well. And then we have it. We've made up our primary standard solution of a known concentration of sodium carbonate. And I'll show you how to do the calculations to work out exactly what concentration we have. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how we can work out the exact concentration for the primary standard that we just made. And so our primary standard was sodium carbonate. And sodium carbonate has a molar mass of 105.99. Okay, and we get that just straight from our periodic table. And we measured, when we were preparing our primary standard, we measured out 2.00 grams of that sodium carbonate. So from that, we can now determine how many moles we have, because we've got the mass and we've got the molar mass. So the moles of Na2CO3 is the mass over the molar mass, which is 2.00 over 105.99, and that gives us a total of 0.0189 moles. But we want to find the concentration. So now we've got the moles, and we used a 250 ml volumetric flask to make up our primary standard. So that means that we have this many moles in 0.25 liters of water. So our concentration is going to be moles over volume. We have 0.0189 moles, and our volume was 0.25, or it was 250 mils, but we put it in liters so that we can end up with a concentration of moles per liter. And so we have 0.0756 moles per liter. Okay, and that's our concentration of sodium carbonate that we have in our primary standard. And you'll need to use these numbers as you use the primary standard to do a titration.